Hey guys, and welcome to this video. So just a brief overview in terms of books. So growing up in the school system, at least here in the United States, books have kind of a bad connotation. A lot of it is due to the selection of books that were given. Also textbooks, these large, 400 or 500 page, books that we're forced to carry around, read, but more so the type of books that we have to, novels, historical fiction, nonfiction, whatever the case may be. But unfortunately, at least here in the US, it could be different around the world, but in the US, a lot of kids end up hate reading, and because they experience that and they have that kind of viewpoint, they unfortunately grow into, let's say, young adults just not liking to read at all, because a lot of it sometimes came from the youth. And then also you have technology when it comes to like television, computers, video games. I'm not saying those are bad, but I'm saying that pretty much replaced books for a lot of the youth, especially for me, definitely this upcoming generation. And a lot of people just say that, hey, why read when you can just either Google something or get a quick summary somewhere, or whatever the case may be. So what I want to emphasize, and that's why I created this channel, is that reading, and depending on what you read, but reading generally is one of the greatest habits that you can ever develop. And I know some people might think it's a waste of time, or it takes too much time, or it's not worth it. But I'm telling you that one of the reasons why, to a point I've gotten to where I'm at, is because I established the habit of reading. And everybody goes at their own pace. For me, I try to aim at least one new book a month. Some people can do two. Some people, it may take one book per every couple, 2-3 months, whatever the case may be. But reading has really gave me an insight into so many of the most successful, whether it be entrepreneurs, business leaders, politicians in the world. And it really kind of dives you deep into, let's say, their background, their mindset, the tips, what they went through to become successful. Because if we look at it, and you look at history as a whole, it tends to go in cycles. And a lot of the people that became successful, what they did, even though maybe they're in a different era, let's say that, some of the traits that they had to develop, it still maintains the same in today's society. So you having access to that person's, background story of what they became, how they became successful. I'm not saying that you're going to replicate it, but you can pick and, choose what you want to implement that's going to help benefit you most in your life. And of course, there's also enjoyment too. Like me, naturally, I love history. So I like to know what happened for, during this event, during this time period, how this person became successful. Some people think that's really boring, and that's fine, but there's something that intrigues everybody. But I'm assuming that everybody to a degree wants to be successful in whatever field that they're practicing in. And whether it be some people prior in their field that became successful, I guarantee, at least if you read a little bit on their background, you can use some tips and that can help you out. So for this channel, per video, I'm going to go over a book, like a quick review summary, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and feedback and whether or not I recommend it. Because I'm not saying that I've read thousands of books, but I think for my age, I'm 28 years old, I think I've read quite a bit. And for me, it's not a waste of time. I think reading, whereas binge watching a show, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but if you're constantly doing that and you're not giving yourself an opportunity to read a little bit to, self-improve, then I think you're missing out on a little bit. But you have this channel, and I'm going to show you guys some great books that maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, because some of the best books that I came across was recommendations from friends, recommendations when going through Amazon, you know, through reading the reviews. There's so many books out there. Now, I'm telling you that not all books are worth reading, that there are quite a bit. It's literally impossible to read every single book. I'm not saying you need to do that, no. You need to go out there and take action and do what you need to do to be successful in this world. But a lot of people, I know they say they don't have time to read, but that's a little bit of an exaggeration. Everybody has some downtime. I think personally everybody can take 20 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes, and then an hour max, but at least 20 to 30 minutes per day. I would say maybe right before going to bed. They always say that before going to bed, instead of like watching TV or, you know, being on your phone, it's best to actually read for 20 to 30 minutes because it'll calm you down, it calms your brain down, and you'll naturally go to bed, you know, you'll have a better sleep, but that's another topic. But like I was mentioning, I'm gonna talk about some of the books that I found personally beneficial and what I would recommend. And like I said, there's so many great books out there, so many great reads. It's like gold basically. And you know, a lot of people will spend hundreds of dollars or even thousands of dollars getting mentors and enrolling in programs. Not saying that some are good or whatever, but a lot of the cases, if you spend, let's say, $10 or $15 on a really good book, sometimes that can replace all that kind of, you know, marketing spam that's being sold to us every day on TV and on the internet. And you know, for me, basically, honestly, you can find everything either, you know, through book, Google, or YouTube nowadays. But like I said, there's a lot of great books out there, and I'm excited because I love reading, and there's so many good books about it. I love to talk about it, and I hope to share some of the books, and hopefully you guys can pick up on some, and it can be beneficial for you guys in your life. So guys, with that, again, welcome. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.